And we are back for Non-Stop Wrestling Smackdown episode 15 part 2. It is myself, beautiful Dave Easton, and Joe with us at ringside. And coming up, it is the second match in the tag team tournament. Awesome Truth are going to take on Sheamus and Sami Zayn. And Joe, we know Awesome Truth and Sheamus have some history against each other.
Yeah, Awesome Truth is always attacking Sheamus after the match.
And we seen on the Royal Rumble on Sunday night, Awesome Truth Truth came out at 1 and Miz came out at 3. Well, you would have
they took control of the Royal Rumble in the early beginning of it.
They did indeed, eliminating people left and right. And, well, tonight they look to see if they can get one step closer to the tag team titles. And all they have to do is defeat Sheamus and Sami Zayn. And I'm sure Sheamus wants to get his hands on both these individuals.
And Sami Zayn is a good competitor by himself, so imagine what he'll do tagged with the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Indeed, and we were talking last week, Joe, remember, we were talking about Sami Zayn being a tag team wrestler or a singles wrestler, and this is a big chance for Sami Zayn to even get into a title picture with the tag division.
I did not think of that, and that would be really great to see.
And indeed, Awesome Truth have said in recent weeks that they are targeting SmackDown superstars, and this man, Sheamus, the Irish Warrior, has had his problems. We've seen him being attacked on numerous occasions, and I'm sure tonight a victory over Awesome Truth would give him great pleasure in stopping Awesome Truth getting anywhere near titles. As Sheamus comes to ring, he was going to be tagging with this man, Sami Zayn. And indeed, this Canadian, Joe, you have to say, has excited a lot of fans here on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he has been a great wrestler, but I think he needs to step up more.
Indeed, Sami Zayn, but imagine what a win for him and Sheamus would do here tonight if they can get a win and move on to face the Shield next week. Is that right, on SmackDown? The only thing is, though, Joe, we say that. What if, just say, if Sami Zayn and Sheamus win this, and then they get drafted, what happens then? We're going to have to see
that would be terrible for our brand.
Well, it would be interesting to see what Tim Jones, our GM, does if one of these individuals gets drafted on Monday night. And Miz going to work on Sheamus early on. And Sheamus, you've got to think, is his mind really on this match, or does he just want to destroy Awesome Truth?
Either way, it's bad for Awesome Truth.
Exactly. You would not want this big Irish man coming towards you, especially in a good mood. If you put him in a bad mood, it's just, well, it could be even worse for anyone. As Miz going to work on Sheamus, not really looking scared at all. Working over Sheamus here. Now Sheamus in a lot of trouble. Miz dominating early on. You wouldn't think that early on, Joe, especially as Sheamus is wanting to get his hands over Awesome Truth.
Ooh, that looked like it hurt.
Indeed, and Sheamus in a lot of trouble early on. Miz really dominating Sheamus. Sami Zayn pacing. Yeah, Sami Zayn pacing on the outside. And what would it do for Awesome Truth if they could put Sheamus away early here and pick up the win?
Oh, submission maneuver.
Indeed, and then Miz in a lot of trouble. Sheamus just quickly reversing that, but then Miz getting out of that too early for a submission move here, surely, as Sheamus works over Miz. Miz, they go behind again, quick reversals, and then Sheamus hits him with a double axe handle. As again, R-Truth pacing backwards and forwards on his side of the ring. Sheamus and Miz starting this match in a neck breaker from Sheamus. And we're talking just before, Joe, Sheamus wanted to get his hands on Awesome Truth. And it's very interesting that in this tag match, if Sheamus can win, what that would do to the confidence of Awesome Truth.
I think if Sheamus does win, Awesome Truth is going to have some internal problems within their team.
Exactly, and especially as they have dominated Sheamus really after the match. They've got a couple of defeats for Awesome Truth over Sheamus, but Sheamus has been attacked after the match. And Sami Zayn now in the ring. SmackDown is going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We'll be right back. SmackDown continues. Remember to watch Non-Stop Wrestling Raw on Mondays on Twitch TV. It is 11 o'clock in the UK, 6 in the East, 3 in the West. Join beautiful Dave Easton and Matt Rhodes for Raw. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on Smackdown, episode 15, part 2. We are currently watching the Awesome Truth versus Sami Zayn and The Miz. You are here with beautiful Dave Easton and Joe at ringside. And the winners of this match, Joe, we were talking before, will face the Shield next week. And they will get a shot at Mundo and AJ Styles at the Elimination Chamber. And could you imagine a team of Awesome Truth versus Mundo and AJ Styles? What a match that would be.
It would be one for the ages. Maybe one of the century.
Indeed, and especially as for the early life here of Non-Stop Wrestling, the tag belts seem to be changing hands regularly. One of these teams who face Mundo and AJ Styles and Deal will be high on winning the belts as Miz continues to work over Sami Zayn. Only gets a 1 count on that.
R-Truth hasn't been in this match at all yet.
No, indeed, through the break he hasn't even been included in this match. As Miz tries to work over and tries to do... I wonder if Miz is just trying to show R-Truth that he can indeed work a match by himself. As Miz and Sami Zayn continue, and I think we're going to see R-Truth now. Indeed, here he is.
He's finally entering the ring.
Indeed, are we going to see this pattern move? Yes, drop toe hold into the elbow. We see that by many teams here in Non-Stop Wrestling. And is R-Truth just coming in to pick the pieces up? Miz does the hard work, and R-Truth comes in and then picks up the really what's left of Sami Zayn.
Miz coming back in the ring.
Indeed.
After R-Truth swinging some things up.
Indeed, maybe this could be the end of it. Sami Zayn looks out of it, glazed over his eyes, and indeed Miz picks up the win. And you have to think, that is a big win for Awesome Truth, Joe, tonight.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Sheamus is feeling, though. He was a second too late to enter the ring.
Indeed, and Awesome Truth move on. And, well, Joe, next week we are going to see Awesome Truth versus The Shield. Hopefully, the draft will not take any of these competitors. And we are going to see a top tag team match next week on SmackDown.
Sami Zayn is still out of it in the ring. I hope he's okay.
And, well, I don't think Awesome Truth can. They move on, and they will meet the Shield next week. As, well, we see the Bellas. Well, that's Brie Bella, and there's Nikki Bella. I wonder what they're talking about. They have a match coming up. Nikki Bella has a match against Molly Holly, and that is coming up next. I wonder what these two are talking about. And you know, Joe, when these two get together, good things do not happen.
Yeah, they like to do a kind of tricky maneuver to get out of some sticky situations.
Indeed, the Bellas have really been violent after matches recently, attacking people. What are them two saying? It'll be very interesting. Brie, well, I don't know what is that all about, but let's see what happens. Is Nikki Bella is going to take on Molly Holly next. First time we've seen Molly Holly back in Non-Stop Wrestling for a couple of weeks. So let's see what happens. It is going to be a singles competition coming up next. And Joe, what do you think of the Bella twins? What is your opinion of these two?
I think they should be taken by Raw in the draft.
Well, we'd be interesting to see. Remember, the women, indeed, it is exclusive on Raw on Monday night, the draft. And they are going to take on Molly Holly tonight. And you've always got to be careful of Brie Bella on the outside. But Molly doesn't like to take much crap, to say the least, Joe.
You're right about that. She's one of the fiercest divas we have on SmackDown.
So let's see what happens tonight. It is Molly Holly against Nikki Bella. That is the next singles match coming up. And we're off and underway for match number 5 here on SmackDown this evening. As I say, beautiful Davies and Joe with you at ringside. And I'm sure Paige will be watching this match very closely, Joe, our women's champion. Especially in the next few weeks, she'll be wondering who she'll be facing at the Elimination Chamber.
The Elimination Chamber is coming to us in September, to everyone in the NSW app watching.
Indeed, you can watch it live here on our Twitch TV channel. Elimination Chamber, both the Non-Stop Wrestling Championship and the World title will be defended in the Elimination Chamber. And remember, Joe, exclusively revealed on Raw, is that an NXT competitor will be in both matches.
That is a shock to me.
Indeed. So it could mean that we could see someone here on SmackDown. We could see our main title being held by an NXT wrestler come the Elimination Chamber.
That would be great to the NXT brand.
Indeed, but what would it mean to the SmackDown brand? Especially as we've now seen the sort of gang, as we could say, of Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy and Tim Jones working for Tim Jones. I wonder, it would be interesting to see what part they play in getting the title off Kevin Nash coming the Elimination Chamber.
And Molly Holly's taking control of this match early on.
Indeed. No, Molly Holly looking to get back into the title picture, wanting to hold that title for the first time. Paige, who defended the title on the pre-show Sunday Night Heat when she defeated Layla in what was quite a brutal match. The Divas really giving us as good as they can get here on Non-Stop Wrestling. You can see that the women are trying to put on a show.
Yes, indeed. Oh, no, don't do it, don't do it.
Oh, not again.
They just fixed it too.
And Molly Holly, again, SmackDown's going to continue though. Stay with us, we'll be right back. SmackDown will continue. Remember to watch Non-Stop Wrestling NXT. It comes to your way on Saturdays at 11 o'clock in the UK, 6 in the East, 3 in the West. Join beautiful Dave Easton and Oliver Bisping for Non-Stop Wrestling NXT. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on SmackDown, episode 15. Molly Holly working over Nikki Bella here. And Joe, you've got to think, if Molly Holly can get a win here, she might be in line for a title shot against Paige sometime down the road.
Yeah, Molly Holly is a great competitor. I think she deserves one if she gets any amount of wins.
Indeed, we haven't seen Molly Holly for a couple of weeks, but coming up here on SmackDown as Nikki Bella and Brie still on the outside. Nikki in a lot of trouble here though, Joe.
Yeah, it looks like she's kind of hurt. Maybe that ambulance has some foreshadowing to do.
And then look at this. And then all of a sudden, that little distraction from Brie gives Nikki the chance to get back in control. And if she can put away Molly Holly here, she might indeed try and get another title shot. Remember, she did hold the women's title very early on in Non-Stop Wrestling. I'm sure she'll be looking to try and hold the title again sometime down the road as a face buster into Molly Holly. And Molly Holly's dazed here. Perfectly hit drop kick from
to the face.
Yeah, right to the face of Molly Holly. And Nikki could be in complete control here. Looking for the double drop kick. She hits it perfectly.
Could be over.
Yeah, this indeed could be over. Molly Holly looks to be out of it. Molly Holly turns around, doesn't hook the leg. Is that enough? No, it's not. It's only one. She should have hooked the leg there. But look at this. She catches Molly Holly coming in.
Reversed.
And the face buster, that is, she calls Ring My Bella. And this one is over. Hooks the leg. Molly is not kicking out of that. And it's a big win for Nikki Bella.
Well, good effort from the returning Molly Holly.
But this means the Bellas continue their winning ways. And, well, that can only mean trouble for the rest of the women here in Non-Stop Wrestling. As Nikki continues with the win, and we will see what that leads further down the road here. But tonight, she picks up the win over returning Molly Holly, and the Bellas. Well, Brie didn't feel that much, but as I say, a big win for Nikki here in Non-Stop Wrestling SmackDown, episode 15, as the Bellas roll on. And oh well, here we go. Here is the Shield. Dean Ambrose saying that an injustice happened at the Royal Rumble, and it was their first part of winning back the tag titles, become 3 times tag team champions. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins saying, Mundo Stars, we are watching you boys next week. Awesome Truth. Sorry boys, but you are just in our way. Wow. We are going to see the Shield versus Awesome Truth next week. And Roman Reigns are saying that nobody's taking them seriously. And tonight the Shield are going to take over. So Joe, we now have the Shield, NWO and the Corporation all saying battling for top supremacy here in SmackDown.
I wonder what our leader will do about this.
Indeed, and coming up next, a very angry Ryback, who lost the Hardcore Championship on Sunday night, is going to take on Adrian Phoenix. And Joe, I don't know if you've been able to get a word with Ryback backstage, but from what I've heard, is he's been one very angry individual.
I would be scared if he's angry at me.
Yeah, indeed, Ryback losing the Hardcore title to Giant Limbo at the Royal Rumble, and it meant the Hardcore title has gone to Raw, at least until the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And
or the draft.
Well, indeed, the draft. Sorry, yes. You imagine if we got Giant Limbo across here on SmackDown, but he is going to face the Icon, as he likes to be called, Adrian Phoenix, and I think Adrian Phoenix is going to have a lot on his plate tonight.
He calls himself the Icon, but he doesn't seem that impressive to me.
Indeed, we were talking about this last week that Adrian Phoenix has got to start getting a few wins together. But if I was Adrian Phoenix, I wouldn't like to be in his shoes. Just say that.
Neither would I, Dave. Neither would I.
Well, it's a brave man to take on Ryback in the mood he is, and Adrian Phoenix, well, he doesn't look scared, to give him that credit. He is former European champion in his own right, and he is going to take on Ryback. Here we go, as match number 6 is off and running. Coming up, remember, it is our main event. After this, we're going to see a tag team match of Wade Barrett and Matt Walker of the NWO taking on Dolph Ziggler and our former Non-Stop Wrestling champion Dustin Healy. That is up next. But Ryback, look at this, Joe. He's got Adrian Phoenix already in shell shock already.
He's manhandling Adrian Phoenix.
This one could be over already. Into the cover, hooks the leg. Adrian Phoenix though kicks out. Give him credit. Shell shock early on.
If I got shell shocked, I would be out for days.
I think I would get out the ring. Never mind trying not get back up. He's trying to take it back. I think Ryback went for that far too early. Even if it was a shell shock. Look at Phoenix though. He is not backing down from Ryback's challenge at all. Trying to take the big man down. Big suplex.
It looks like the shell shock kind of encouraged Adrian Phoenix.
Indeed. And maybe Adrian Phoenix is trying to live up to this Icon, well, nickname that he likes to give people. Look, and vicious kicks to the chest of Ryback. And then one to the head. Could that be enough to put Ryback down? But Ryback's just not staying down. This is not a good sign. Whatever Adrian Phoenix seems to be doing, Ryback just seems to be keep popping back up.
Ryback is an animal.
Indeed. And
he has an animalistic instinct.
And look at this, it just seems to have pissed him off a little bit here. Big shots. What is he doing here? He is not going to suplex him to the outside. Oh my goodness!
Oh my.
That is incredible. That could take. Ryback's getting up. You've got to give Ryback credit. And Adrian Phoenix. Oh my! He's going to shell shock him on the outside.
This could be over for Adrian Phoenix.
Adrian Phoenix could be severely injured here.
Ryback's still going at it though.
Ryback just seems to be one angry dude here. And Adrian Phoenix has been suplexed off the top to the outside, shell shocked twice, and he's getting up despite he may be severely injured.
If I was him, I would just stay down.
Indeed, you would think. You don't want to pee Ryback off anymore. And Adrian Phoenix, give him credit for coming back. Oh, but he gloated a bit too much. And we are going to see a third shell shock here. This
Surely
one,
this has to be it.
Yeah, I would say this is. If I was Adrian Phoenix, I would stay down. Indeed, Ryback picks up the win, and well, Ryback back to winning ways. And well, if I was Adrian Phoenix, I would stay out this man's way in the future.
That was a good effort by Adrian Phoenix, though, getting back up after 2 shell shocks.
Indeed, especially after being 3 shell shocks, one to the outside as well. And you've got to remember, Joe, outside, that is not padded on the outside.
Yeah, that could seriously injure a lot of superstars.
Well, Ryback is back to winning ways, and a big win on SmackDown over Adrian Phoenix for Ryback. And, well, let's see what happens next. Oh, here we go. Mundo and Paul Heyman speaking backstage. Mundo saying it's not his fault that Connor can't get the job done, and the best thing for SmackDown is to get rid of him to Raw. So Mundo trying to get rid of Connor there, Joe.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't be surprised since Paul Heyman and Connor Rhodes had a little backstage agreement before.
Exactly. And Mundo just saying, Heyman saying he got screwed tonight, and Mundo just saying, stop wasting your time. Oh my! Well, he's telling Paul Heyman he's out. So does that mean that Mundo and Paul Heyman are no longer together? Well, we will have to wait to see that in coming weeks. But this is it, Joe. This is our main event. The NWO members Matt Walker and Wade Barrett taking on our former champion Dustin Healy and Dolph Ziggler. And you know, Joe, where the NWO is, Kevin Nash is going to be there, our new champion. And look at this, he hasn't even brought the belt out with him, Joe. That is so disrespectful for the Non-Stop Wrestling Championship.
Yeah, if I had the title, I would show it off everywhere I go.
And remember what Kevin Nash said earlier on tonight. He said that the NWO is taking over, and well, it's going to be interesting. Wade Barrett and Matt Walker in tag team competition tonight, and maybe they're just looking to take out Dustin Healy once and for all. But Dolph Ziggler, I'm sure, will want to try and get his shot at the Elimination Chamber and try and impress a lot of people tonight. And here is Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph, indeed, was a bit upset over being overlooked for the Rumble. And this is his great chance to show Tim Jones that he wants to get in that Elimination Chamber match.
Yes, if you're in an Elimination Chamber match and you do well, you become automatically a top superstar of the brand.
Indeed, but as I say, Raw will be looking on for this. Could you imagine if we lost Ziggler or somebody like this man, Dustin Healy, in the draft on Monday night?
It would be a true, loss to us. I don't think we could recover unless we gave one of their huge superstars.
Indeed, and indeed, Joe, I do believe that you're going to be joining us on Monday night for the draft. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Indeed, you're going to be joining us, myself and Matt Rhodes, in the commentary booth for the draft. And the draft, well, as I say, so much building up to it. But this main event should be an absolute cracker. The NWO, and you can see, Joe, Kevin Nash on the outside. I'm sure Dustin Healy would like to get another crack at him.
And Dustin Healy taking an early lead in this match. Whoa, Matt Walker just trying to take a swing at Dustin Healy.
Indeed. And I'm sure the NWO have had, they've had orders from Kevin Nash to take Dustin Healy out. I'm sure Kevin Nash would not want to see Dustin Healy in the Elimination Chamber in a few weeks when that pay-per-view comes about.
Do you know the NWO and the Shield have 3 people in their team, right?
Yes.
I would like to see Dustin Healy team up with Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle. I think that would be an amazing partnership.
Well, indeed. Saying that, would Tim Jones, our GM, does he want anyone else in the corporation? He's already got Kurt Angle there, who's won the European title. He's signed Jeff to a contract. You could be right. What if Dustin Healy does join the corporation? That would only make them indeed stronger. But you've got other superstars, I'm sure, looking who haven't been featured. Remember, you've got World's Strongest Man Mark Henry. We haven't even seen him tonight. Where's he? Could he be working with the corporation?
If he is, everyone else is in trouble.
Indeed, as Dustin Healy trying to end this match early on. Wade Barrett in a lot of trouble here. And look at this, just working on. Could Wade Barrett be on the verge of submitting? No, but he gets out of it. But you've got to think, if the NWO are taking over, that just means a lot of trouble for us here on SmackDown.
And a lot more broken commentary tables.
Indeed, we don't want to see. We've been lucky tonight. We haven't actually had that many. We haven't really have none, to be precise. We've only just had the top removed a few times. At least my laptop hasn't been broken tonight for once. SmackDown is going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We'll be right back for the last part of SmackDown. Remember, the Non-Stop Wrestling Elimination Chamber comes your way on Sunday, the 8th of September on our Twitch TV channel. Stay tuned for details of when it will be shown. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on SmackDown main event time. It is Dustin Healy and Dolph Ziggler taking on the NWO. And you have got beautiful Dave Easton and Joe with you at ringside. Ziggler tagging back in Dustin Healy. Didn't seem like he wanted any part of Wade Barrett there.
It looks like he's leaving Dustin Healy off to dry.
Yeah, but Dustin Healy straight back. And then here comes Dolph Ziggler again. Going after Wade Barrett. Actually, when Wade Barrett's on the floor. So maybe he just wants to pick the pieces of Wade Barrett here. And Dustin Healy tried to get a cheap shot and that didn't work. As Wade Barrett now going for a submission.
I don't think he was going to tap to that.
No, indeed. Dolph Ziggler working over Wade Barrett. And Dustin Healy looks very excited on the outside.
Go for a pin.
Indeed. Only gets one. Here's Kevin Nash. Nope, Kevin Nash was on the apron. Got down. Barrett catching Dolph Ziggler coming in. Using the eye rake to get advantage. And you can see Wade Barrett's trying to clear them cobwebs. May have been hit too many times in the head. Throwing Ziggler into his own corner.
I think he's going for a tag.
No, he tried to, but Ziggler out of it and back suplexed him. Folded.
That was a great reversal for Ziggler.
Exactly, very quick. Ziggler showing off some of that speed there, but Barrett with the power just comes back, looking to tag in Matt Walker, and again Ziggler catches him and hits him with a back suplex, and that is not needed. And Matt Walker's getting very, very angry on the outside that Barrett can't get a tag in here.
No, on the other side, Dustin Healy's very excited right now.
Yeah, Ziggler hits the sort of an X-Factor move there, and there it is, a zigzag. Could that be enough to put Wade Barrett away? Nash is angry on the outside, comes across.
It's over, doesn't hook the leg.
And no, he still gets 3. And you have to say, that is a massive upset. Especially Ziggler gets the pin. And you have to say,
Matt Walker not being a factor in this match.
And you have to say, why did Matt Walker not break up that pin? Well, that
Trouble the NWO?
Indeed, could that be trouble in the NWO? Just after Nash says that they're going to take over, Walker looked angry that Wade Barrett didn't tag him in, and then when there was a pin, didn't break it up, and Kevin Nash is not happy with them two in the ring. And well, look at this, Walker and Wade Barrett having a disagreement, and well, Matt Walker walking away from Wade Barrett, and indeed, Joe, we could be right. Is the NWO imploding in front of us?
If you want to find out, come watch us next week live.
Indeed, Non-Stop Wrestling SmackDown episode 15 part 2 is over, and please like, subscribe, tell us what you think. Join us for NXT on Saturday night, and remember, the draft is on Monday. Good night.